What's good, everyone? Aggie Coach here. All right, man, I am excited because this is the first time that I've ever done this, and I think it's going to definitely be a lot of fun. I want to welcome you guys to How to Play FAT8 Football series. This is probably going to be a series of, I'm guessing, probably between 6 and 10 videos. I'm going to go ahead and try and get most of them, hopefully maybe 4 or 5 posted over the next week or so. So let me go ahead and jump into this. So this is the FAT8 rule standard, and I'm going to be going over the basic gaming procedures for how you play FAT8 football. And so I'm super excited about this, and let me go ahead and point this out as we get started. The rules here in the FAT8 rule standard is based on the 2016-2017 NCAA official rules for college football. So as we go ahead and jump into this thing, I'll let you guys in on where you can find the rule system. I'll put it in the description below. So we're going to start with the mission, and I'm not going to just read it all to you. I'm just going to kind of sum it up for you so that we can go ahead and jump into this thing, because I want to try to keep this video under 15 minutes. And so essentially the mission of the FAT8 football rule standard is to establish a core set of rules and procedures which are in line with the fundamental rules and procedures for college football. And so the FAT8 rule standard was developed based on the official NCAA football rules and interpretations manual. Okay, so with that being said, I want to go ahead and jump into this thing because I'm super excited about it. So let's go ahead and get into the first part. So the first part is going to be covering, this video here is going to be covering 2 aspects of the rule book, and that is rosters and numbers. Okay, so I want to just kind of go through this. I'll try and keep this short and sweet if I can. All right, so starting out, every roster on every team, you want to have a minimum. We have an absolute minimum of 33 players and a maximum of 55 players, and there's a reason for that. And you want to have a minimum of about 3 players at each position, reduced down to 2 at the least, right? I mean, drop dead minimum 2 players per position in your depth chart. And okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, let me explain this for all of you younger guys. I know we have a whole bunch of kids that are watching. If you guys are not familiar with football, it's okay. I am going to try and explain this in as much detail as possible, and I might as well go ahead and put a quick disclaimer out there while I'm at it. A lot of you adults that are very advanced in football, you might find this a little boring because there are some fundamentals that I may have to review. So what I mean by depth chart, right? So within your roster, you have various positions, right? And so it's important that you have each player laid out in what position they're playing by. You can download a roster sheet also from our Facebook page, and I'll post that. So the idea is that at each position, you want to have a minimum of 2 players per position. So that means you don't want to go under that. So for example, you want to have 2 quarterbacks. You want to have at least 2 running backs. 3 would be great, but at least 2. You want to have at least 2 fullbacks. For your wide receiving core, you want to have, I would say, a minimum of 3 wide receivers. I have some teams that have up to 6 wide receivers because they typically run a 5 receiver spread or a 4 spread. So then the same thing in your line. You want to have 2 tight ends. You want to have at least 2 or 3 tackles, 3 guards, 2 centers. That's what your depth chart looks like. The reasoning is because we also have an injury system, right? And so if your players get injured, if any of your athletes get injured and you only have 1 athlete at that position, for example, you only have 1 tackle, and your tackle gets injured, then you have no one to take his place, right? So it's that kind of thing. If you only have one quarterback and your quarterback gets injured, your quarterback goes down, now you don't have any backup. So that is what that represents. That is the reason that we have a minimum of 33 players and a maximum of 55 players. However, you know, it's your gaming experience, so, you know, you can play it however you want. But that's the general idea, right? So that is that part. Now, let me get down to the last part here we're going to talk about. The numbering system. Very, very, very important for the numbering system, right? So I'm going to highlight this right here so you guys can see. The numbering system. So this is the 2016-2017 numbering system as highlighted by the NCAA. Now, the 2017-2018 season has made some changes. So I'm going to go through these really quickly so I can point these out. And I'm going to start with quarterbacks, halfbacks, running backs, fullbacks, right? Their number designations is 1 through 49. Okay? Your offensive backfield cannot have a number higher than 49. 1 through 49. That is it. Now, there are some exceptions here, but it comes down to how players are designated. For example, sometimes a team will bring a tight end in the game, and that tight end might be playing the role of a fullback. Maybe that tight end might go in motion, or a split receiver might go in motion, which requires them to go through the backfield. So indirectly, they're kind of playing the role of a ball carrier if they're running a reverse or a double reverse or option reverse or triple option or something like that. But that player's primary designation, if that player is a receiver, that player will have the numbers that are designated for wide receivers. So the offensive backfield designation is 1 through 49. Okay, so now let's move to the offensive line. Your snapper or your center is 50 to 59. Your guards, both guards, 60 to 69. Tackles, 70 to 79. There are some exceptions here. I have seen teams with tackles that also use the 60 to 69 bracket. The NCAA hasn't made a big deal about it, so a lot of teams are still doing it. Now, your split ends or your wide receivers, their range as of 2017 to 2018 change is 80 to 89, not 80 to 99. The 90 to 99 was shifted over to the defense as of this year, right? So I just wanted to point that out so everyone understands. Wide receivers are 80 to 89. Typically tight ends. Typically tight ends have 70 to 79 range, okay? Now, defensively, defensive backs follow the same rule as the offensive backfield, 1 to 49, okay? The defensive linemen have a range 50 to 79 and 90 to 99, okay? And linebackers have free reign 1 to 99. And that is it. So the last thing that I want to cover is how teams in the FAT8 conference should be painted. And it's very, very simple. Try to avoid painting your team's offense in one color and defense in another color. Okay? Paint your whole team all in one color. And other than that, that's all I wanted to cover for this particular video. In video number 2, which is coming, we're going to be covering actual player weight, the APW system. And then after that, we're going to actually be getting into the gaming system. So I hope that this was helpful. This will help you guys into organizing your team and organizing your rosters, getting your numbers and everything right so you can get your guys ready to play. All right, don't forget, comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.